Good there. All right. It's 11:30. That will be in a minute. All right, got a couple of you on. Hey, Space Lord Mother Trucker, one of the great handles of all time. Space Lord Mother Trucker. There's a couple of Space Lords. There's a Space Lord. He's the first guy who put footprint charts on the TradingView. Space Lord, or something like that. All right, appreciate you guys hanging out while we got a chance here. And of course, we record these for any that want to see them later. Not everybody can do it middle of the day. And then we do the titles. So if the particular asset appeals to you, you can always just move to that. Hey, Joshua. All right, guys. Let's try and get a couple more on here. Never fails. The lawn service is outside my window whenever I do these. You guys probably can't hear. Always when I start a live stream. All right, we'll get that. Oh, there we go. All right, there's enough here. All right, so disclaimer, right, where it's not financial advice. We got to say that, right? It seems silly, but we do have to acknowledge that this is for educational purposes only, and we are here to just talk about our methodology and approach to technical analysis. All right, let's see. Get chart up there, get me up there. Hi, guys. How's it going? All right, there we go. It looks like we got about a 30-second delay. So, all right, first positive is that I think the mic is where I think everything's working. That's progress. All right, I can see your chat, so it's actually on the other monitor, so sometimes I miss them. Okay, but starting out here. So first, thanks to all that posted. Oh, let me get the charts up here. And first up, I've got this is Young. Yeah, is this Young Yan? Yeah, this is Young Yan, which is trying to say that fast 5 times. Young Yan, who. Boy, it's a really nice progression, right? His technical skills have really improved, and he's doing a lot of option trading, and was one of the first to really gravitate into how we like to approach it. So this he's giving us here XPO, which I had not looked at in a long time. Transportation company. What a beautiful, good Lord! Look at this 3-day. Look at this channel. It's almost like you can't believe how good it is. Now we are in log scale here, and we're going from a low 64 cents to what did we get up here? 52. So you can understand why we're in log scale. You wouldn't be able to see much without it. How are we doing here? Everybody good? Okay. So, God, just like what's interesting about it, I always find this just amazing. We don't create, the market creates the channel, right? All we're doing is connecting the dots. Right? It's completely market-driven channel. Right? To talk about precision, it's almost hard to believe, really. But okay, so you can marvel at it and go, okay, great. How does that help me right now? Well, a couple of things here we can look at. We don't have to wonder about the trend. The only question is, are we participating in the corrective action of this trend? Because certainly, as we can see, here I'm going to give you if this is 3, 4, 5. Well, that's a bit of a skinny 5. Now you say that because that would be relative to the 3. But here, if I take the 1, right, traditional Elliott, now he's got some thin lines here, and I take it from the proposed 4 here, well, here's 100%. This would be incredibly common. Now, it looks like it's condensed up here because we're in log scale, right? So if I take it out of log scale, you don't get because you have the expansion here. So it's deceptive to your eye. But this is actually, it looks quite good. Now, certainly you can't eliminate, right? You can't eliminate the possibility that we're going to do 2 and go off here into a higher high for another kick for a bigger fifth. But that's okay. That's all well and good. But if we're correcting here, there's two ways to think of it. Let me get my little drawing out of there. Okay, number one, we have not broken the channel. So the support here is noteworthy. Now he's putting on a short. I got to get over to, what did he give me? I can't remember what he gave me. Let me because he's got a lot over here in the tree as well. But there's an interesting setup here. So premise, right? So you work with the premise. His premise is that we've got a major top here. Now, of course, right, he's been around long enough to understand, right, there could be another kick on this. But right now, you can validate this and say, okay, well, if this is my 4, do I get a clean impulse? Well, it's again, you're looking for things that don't quite fit. Right? So this is a little dicey here because this is what your finish would be. That's a little skinny on the finish, right? Not much of a 2, not much of a 4, but then just a little pipsqueak for a 5. So this would be, I would kind of, if I could, pencil that in. Maybe. Definitely an impulse here. Boy, that finish is brutal. How do we look here? All right, we might have a little snag here. Let's just double check it here. And again, this is log scale, so this maybe not. No, it looks like we're right. So I thought maybe we had the 3. Was going to be the shortest, but yep, he's covered that, right? So he knows better. All right, so there's 1, 2, good here, 3, 4, 5. It's good enough. It's the 5 that leaves you a little wanting, right? Is it possible here that the 3 is up here and this is all part of the 4? But then how would you qualify that? How would you know? Well, if this was a 2, all right, let's just think about it. I'm just kind of going through a thought process here to see, okay, how does he get here, right? So, okay, if I go here and, oh geez, I got to use mine or I won't be able to recognize it. Let me go to, let's just go measure move here. Okay, so we come right to a 50. So swing low, swing high, right? Elliott aside, I've got a swing low to a swing high. I've got an internal retracement. I know the trend is up. I've come right now. Note where I'm finding support is right on the edge of that remarkably consistent trend line, or well, you can call it trend line, trend channel. At a technical pivot. Oh, probably a demand zone in there as well because we have breaks of structure, right? So you can here. Let's do it this way, right? So here would be a nice clean break of structure. So here's the pivot, right? The last low that created the pivot. So we'd have demand here. We'd have some demand down here. Okay, so this would leave you looking at this going, okay, well, if we're going to correct, well, we're looking for a 5, 3, 5. All right, so I got 5 down. All right, so let's get a little labeling on here. Yeah, let's finish this up. Right, so there's a candidate for an A. Looks like we're working on a candidate for a B here. Let me bring that up a little bit. Let's go micro here. Oh no, let's go up a little bit. Let's go minuet so we can see it. And just make it a little bigger here. Okay, so he's right on the edge here. If this is the ABC here. Oh shit, I'm missing one. Let's get an A, B, C. Jesus, why am I wearing black there? What the heck? Let's just do it this way. Okay, so there's an A, candidate for a B. Now, of course, we could have an expanded B, but that's going to throw a monkey in the rest. That's not really what you're wanting. So I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got an A here. Now, so then you'd be back here saying, God, how solid am I here? Jesus, looks like Bitcoin. 1, 2. Can you get that done? Yeah, you can. Okay, so he's got a leading diag here, and it's perfectly technical, right? So I'm just kind of going through the checklist here of, okay, how do we get here? Okay, well, if this is the pivot we're working from, I get a leading diag, right? It's perfectly technical. He's done all the subdivision. It's nice work in here, Jan. I'm just trying to catch up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading diag. I got an impulse that comes off of it. So to some degree, you might look at that and think, am I misinterpreting here? Could this be a completed correction? Well, we don't need to go there yet. So if this is the A, then we're working on the B here. are we done, right? So we'd be looking for, well, that's an impulse, right? So we'd be looking for an A, B, we'd be looking for a C here. So let's go to an 8, see if we can get that. So I'm going to get there eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay, I see it. So let's label it. All right, so this is kind of the process you got to go through, saying, okay, does everything line up here? Well, okay, maybe a little early on this, right? If you're trying to be perfect, but so looks to me like he's not in yet. Can't quite tell if he's not in yet. So because it looks like Yana, I don't know if you're on, but like we might. Oh, something just happened. OBS reconnection successful. Okay, looks like we lost it for a second. Okay, so we're waiting for this last little piece to finish. That's what you'd be, to get it just right. Now he's working off of some Bollinger Bands, which are in here. Let's get these guys up, right? So he's got. Looks like he's taking one of them and we're just looking at the highs, not the lows. Right? So that's kind of interesting approach. So volatility is expanding, right? As we see at the higher Bollinger Band, moving averages are all moving higher. So he's looking to try and get this and just time this with pretty good precision. Now, everything else aside, what's positive here is that look at his risk reward. Right. I mean, this is something he really latched onto early was the money management, right? Which is of all the things you want to focus on, that would be job number one. So as he sits right here looking at this going, okay, well, right or wrong, the risk reward here is so favorable that, it's hard to argue with the setup here. Maybe a little early, maybe, right? So there's a couple of ways you can play this. If we go up and we want to finish, well, then if we start the correction, you might do something like this and say, okay, well, something needs to break down here. A swing low, you could do it that way with the break of this low. Something to give you like some indication, okay, the swing structure is changing a little bit. I'm on an 8-hour, you could be down to a 15-minute, right? So can I get a start on this, right? Well, if this is going to go deeper for a C, we need a 5 in the A or the 5 in the 1. So 1, 2, well, you could wait. Oh, shit. I mean, come here. We could wait for something tiny, like a little break like that on the 15-minute to get you stopped into it. I mean, all the work that goes into this is part of that process of saying, okay, do I have enough here to say it justifies putting money at risk, which is really, it's the name of the game, right? Do I like this trade enough to put money at risk, right? Now I'm not risking a lot, but risk is risk. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like this has a little bit more. So I'd set maybe an alert. Damn it, come here. I'd have an alert up here, something like that. Oh, looks like, you might probably pull up an order block here or something of that sort, something like that. So maybe we get a little bit higher up here, come into some prior demand. Looks like this could be a little bit of inducement here, right? So you'd have a wick here that would be, come here. Maybe we bring this up here, run some liquidity here. Well, of course, ideally, the assumption would be that this would be defended. You'd come up here, get that 5, and then we'd start to come down. You get a little retrace, and then you get the break of structure here. That would put you in. And then, okay, do I have the start on the 1 of the A wave, the A of the ABC, the 1 of the A? So the whole premise would be I'd be starting that deeper correction. So it's a nice setup. Now, what he didn't give me is the mechanism, because I know he's been trading a lot of options. I'd be curious to see how he was going to approach this. But the setup is quite good, right? I mean, it's all certainly the short-term trend. Now, I'm down to an 8-hour, right? Is there any question about what the short-term trend is? Right? I would think not, right? So once we put in this pivot, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? It's just until we get to this section here, where all of a sudden now we're breaking structure. So it looks like he's gosh, I don't know what you're doing there. Can't tell what you were doing there. I'm still in log scale. Would that be out of log scale? No, I'm still there. Oh, I think some of the Bollinger here we've made our point there. That can be make it a little messier. All right. So as to whether this is a trade you want to pursue is almost secondary to the process, is it a logical setup? Did he go through all the steps here? Okay, here's a potential 5. Here's the start of the correction. Here's a potential initial swing, right? So all he's doing is saying, okay, here's a swing. I've come down to a technical pivot. I'm retracing, but I'm expecting this to break. Now that's aggressive because we've got this long established trend line down here, a trend channel, and he's proposing that we're going to break it. Well, if you come back here, right, at some point, this thing's going to break. At some point, right? This is what he's after right here. Right? We start a deeper correction on the premise that we've got a good 5, that we completed the impulse. Is he right? Is he wrong? It's not necessarily, that's really not what matters. Is there a methodology here that's consistent with good risk reward here, with good money management, right or wrong? Okay, it's certainly a valid trade, but that's not your priority. The priority is there a consistency of approach here with tight money management? Whether you think the trade is there or not, it doesn't matter. He thinks it's there. So how is he approaching it? All right, is the TA good? TA is good. Is the money management good? Money management's good. What? All right, take the trade. Simple as that, right? If he gets stopped out, is that going to wreck his year? Probably not. See the trade, set it up, do the TA, take yourself through the entire thought process here, which some of you would follow along easily if you've got Elliott skills. Take the Elliott out of it, right? Just the channel. And I've got a swing. Remember here, I know it's a little harder to see, but if we just recreate it here, I've got a swing. I'm taking a deep retracement, what I'm looking for here. That's what he's doing. So the idea is, oh, okay, there's a little supply up here. We come in and tap that. This is what I was drawing up here. Oh, maybe we got a little supply up here up towards the high because, well, remember, right, to make this thing do that, right, I'm here, God, I'm always rusty, right, to make it do that, this money had to be committed to get it to happen, right? Otherwise, we'd just keep going here. So some sellers came in here, drove it down. Now, if we come back up here, there's the risk. Right there it is. Right there's the risk reward. Right, I'm just pulling it off the chart. Okay, you can do a whole lot of those, and you don't have to be right very often to get paid very well for all the work that he put in to setting that up. Because I promise you that took him some time. And then there's the thought process. And then, okay, do I like it? And how do I want to trade it? Am I trade it in options or am I trade the underlying? It's a whole process to get yourself into this risk reward scenario. That is what trading is about, right? This puzzle, you hear me say this all the time. That's the fun part. Trade management should be robotic. Should be, I'm in, my stop is here, my risk is here, I'm comfortable, take the trade, stop thinking about it. Don't check it 27 times a day. You put the trade on, have some conviction, have some confidence in your own work. Right? He doesn't need me to review this, right? I know he's gotten so good. I mean, just look at his TA skills here. He doesn't need me to review this. So really what he's doing here is offering you up a trade. Here's a setup, right? Anybody interested? There you go. Nice work, young Jan. I'm going to keep moving here. Here's a name. Oh my God, I thought he had left us, but he's back with a vengeance and a great looking setup. Well, great member, been with us for a long time, very, very skilled. For those of you that have been around, you'll recognize his handiwork here. He has a real knack for combining harmonic patterns with Elliott Wave and all of the things that we teach. So we often will describe our methodology as 3 pillars of first, Fibonacci relationships, then market geometry, and third in list of priority. Number 3, not number 1, is Elliott Wave. Well, what he's adding to that mix, essentially, harmonics are just fib swing relationships with multiple pivots. So he's adding harmonics to it, right? So now we got four legs of the table, right? So do you see how he dovetails in the harmonic with a clean Elliott count? Brilliant, right? Also just demonstrating that it can be done, right? So this appeals to his mind, right? So he likes to see these confluence points. So boom, butterfly. Okay, well, can the butterfly fit in with the swing structure that would suggest an Elliott count? Does it fit? Well, okay, if this is a one wave, what do we get here? 3, 3, 3, 3, A, B, C, right? Right into a perfect butterfly, right? I mean, God damn, that TA is just... If you're a TA geek like I am, right? That is just gorgeous. It's just, that's like a centerfold, right? For lack of a better way to describe it. Just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so off of this pivot, what do I get? I get a rip raging impulse. You probably read into that. I got a beautiful rip roaring impulse. I'll leave those alone. Okay, but what else do I have here? Okay, let's. How much can we stack the deck? Is there any dispute that that's impulsive? Probably not. I'm going to guess not. Okay, well here's a. Fuck, that almost doesn't matter. So we remember, right? Can you simplify in your mind? Here's the swing, right? We'll call it a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking for the correction, right? My expectation is we stay internal with. OBS apparently is connecting. All right, so I guess it's dropping and redropping. Okay, so here's on Tesla. Right now, we looked at this. I looked at this on Friday, right? There was a little day trade here that I took, right? But this is still very much in play. I mean, you could be trading this right now. Now, earnings, what do we got? I saw this morning. They're cutting some prices here. So there's some question about their inventory being a little overextended. Here's what I can tell you. In Austin, Texas, every 10th car is a Tesla. It's unbelievable how many there are. I digress. Let's get back to the TA. Well, look what I have here. So I have this well, let's see what I get here. This is not, doesn't look like it's golden, but I'd be probably 786, I'd be guessing. Let's put the full suite up there. All right. So there's a perfect B wave. Well, yeah, it'll fly, right? So here's the swing, here's the correction. That looks like you might have to, there's a little Elliott shuffle in there. You might have to go A, B, C, or A, B, C. Might take a little shuffle in there. But we can work from this, say, okay, what do we know if this pivot holds, right? That's the key to it. Now, if this pivot holds, I've got an 80% probability of getting to that pivot. Well, look, didn't get there. And it's a golden zone. All right, so what would your thought be? Well, remember, trading principle number 4, right, from Alan Andrews' work, failure to make the median line equals a move equal to or greater than the swing that failed to get there. So minimum target would be right here. He's going to use the algo target because there's no requirement that the market come down and tag the golden zone before it goes up here, right? They start buying at the 50, right? So here's his buy zone right in here. His color structure is just a little bit different. Stop under the 665. It's probably 707, right? The most you'd want to give that is a little 707, because think about it. See, he's already got the defense built in. If we're gonna roll over here and then come back down and get the median line, well, look how far down that's going to be. You can just use the angle of it, right? So you don't. Why would you want to take it any lower than this, right? You don't want to ride it down here if we're going that low to get that 80% fulfilled. Right, so he's already thought through that. So the process here is, okay, this is the pivot. This is the good pivot. So, all right, well, we need to get out of there, and we need to get out of here with some sort of a 5. Now we're on a 3-hour. Let's go to 30-minute. Let's see what we look like down here. All right, so this would tee in here. Now this actually distorts it a little bit. So since we scrunched, it's going to show that we made that, because these are going to be off. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here, since we're off on the higher time frame. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so see, here's the miss. Okay, so we got, what do we get here? So that's a little skinny on the 2. Do we have a 2? Oh, you'd have to use it there. That's a little junky. That's a little sloppy. That might be too much. It's too condensed. There's not much here to work with, right? Other than maybe those little doubles down there. I think down here, this is iffy, right? So you're going to put a double top into the 5s there. Oh, it's not ideal, right? You don't have an ideal launch point here. Let's go out to 2. Sometimes it's just not. You got a good finish here, right? So there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the finish. It's not a great launch point. What have you got there, right? You can't. Oh, shit, we have to go down to a 15 to even get out of that. 1, 2, there you go. You can get it on. Let's label it up. Little skinny. Come here. 1, 2, 3, A, B, 4. into the 5, right? So you can get a 1 here. This is not what you want in the 2, but here's the low, right? So we can frame it out. All right, so here we're wrestling with this now. I'm down on a 15-minute, right? I prefer not to go lower than that. There's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, A, B, C, maybe that would work. Sometimes you go down so low, right? It's not there. So if that's okay, maybe that's an A, B, C, so a sideways flat. Okay, you can see that starting to get some legs. Okay, so maybe we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, working on a 5 to dig out of here. It's not gorgeous, it's not ideal, but the broader swing strike, there's enough there. My view, right? What that's worth, my view, right? There's enough there to get positioned for this. Right? Like you'd like to see it a little more, more ideal down there. But your risk reward again is so favorable. Again, why would you not take it? Well, okay, so maybe you come down here to that smaller swing structure and you say, well, I just didn't like what I saw down there. It didn't look like I didn't get that nice, clean, give me a 5 to get out of here. So I know I have that conviction. You didn't get it. So you could wait, right, and just tee something up like this, right? You don't have to replicate his harmonic, although it'd be pretty cool, and you could go back and do it, right? You can do all of this right within TradingView. Okay, 1, 2. All right, I'll wait. Now, think about it. So if this is the initial target and this is the third target, if you miss the initial little pivot structure here, at some point there's going to be a retrace, right? Okay, maybe we'll get 1, right? Maybe we'll get the first target. So don't worry about it. Oh, fuck it, shit, I got to get in. I got to get in down here. I don't really see it, but I got to get in. Okay, well, you could approach it that way and just work with some longer term options. But with Tesla, you're paying for time, right? The volatility is so high, and the volume is so high. I mean, it's so liquid, you're in and out. But you don't feel like, oh God, if I don't get the pivot, I'm going to miss the whole thing. Oh shit! Oh, it went when I didn't get it. Oh fuck! I missed the whole thing. No. That's not the way to think of it, right? If there's any launch here, there's going to be the meat of the move. Think of it as the wave 3. There's going to be some sort of push out here, which will break the structure, which will suggest, the uptrend has started, but there will be a retrace. It's damn near a requirement. At some point, the market will retrace because the temptation to take profit is just overwhelming to the people that catch the pivot. So you don't have to be down here going, God damn it, if I don't get that pivot, well, I missed the whole thing. That's not the way to think of it. What you want to see, if anything, is let this confirm. So maybe you take this one out of it. If I can do it. Oh, he may have locked it. Let me just, can I hide it? Okay, take this one out of it. And just say, okay, I'm going to wait and maybe I'll take something on the retrace. And maybe I have to scooch these up a little bit. Right? I mean, he's given you his plan, right? He's comfortable going. He's ready. I'm ready to go, right? I'm comfortable with this risk reward. That's what he's basically saying. You may not be. You might just done what I just did. Say, fucking, I don't really see it. All right, so I'm going to wait for that little 5 to show, and then I'll take the retrace, because once I get this 5 to show me, then I know I have a strong candidate, not a guaranteed, but I have a good candidate for the pivot. With that in mind, now I can structure a trade, because what am I anticipating here? If this is a significant wave 2 low for Tesla, what are we projecting here? We're projecting way the fuck up here. If that's wave 2, Jesus, it's so high. This is where it starts to get, oh, come on, man, come on, right? Can't really. That's what we're 600. Well, so that's where you have to look at this and go, God, do I want to trade options, or do I want to just own Tesla? Because if that's a 1-2, shit, I'm not even in log scale. I'll see if I can do it this way. I'm going to kind of take some of the fun out of it, right? If I'm up here doing it this way, I think he gave it to me, all right? We're talking 600 would be a minimum target, minimum. Maybe you just want to buy some Tesla and park it. Now, that doesn't mean that this couldn't roll over and we're putting a new low. It's never what I'm saying. But is there a trade there? Is it well thought out? Is the TA well constructed, well thought out? Is the risk reward good? I mean, this is the checklist. Okay, what do I got? Okay, take the trade. or not, or wait and say, okay, I like it. I see it. It's on my wish list, but I'm going to wait for that first little leg to confirm for me because I'd like to see that thing confirm. And then I'll take the retrace, right? My view is it's moronic to do anything. Well, see, this is what it makes me. Okay, so there's a swing. Okay, so what is the breakout trader doing, right? He's trying to buy it here. What is the retracement trader? This is like duh, like stupid duh. Okay. Right, but there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. Where is the retracement trader trying to buy it? Okay, so if our goal here, right, there's an assumption here. If our goal here is to sell high and buy low, why would anybody in their right mind buy it there? Why would you do that? Oh, because I read in a book that breakouts are the way to make money in the market. Okay, well, yeah, something breaks. There has to be breakouts, right? Okay, fine. Now, if you take the breakout here, where's your stop? If you take this, right, where's your stop? All right, I mean, again, back to, are you doing the exact opposite of what you've been told from Warren Buffett to name your trading resource, buy low, sell high? Are you not doing the exact opposite? Yes. Yes, you're doing the exact opposite. No. I don't want to buy high because what are you going to do? It's so stupid. It frustrates me. Okay, what are you going to do? If I get stopped out, I'm going to sell low. So I bought high and I sold low. Where's my stop? Well, if you're using the market, your stop is right here. If you're using just a random number based on your risk tolerance, well, it has nothing to do with the market. It has to do with your pocketbook. It has nothing to do with the market. So all you're doing is just setting yourself up to be on in the worst possible position you can be in the market. I bought it high. Literally, you'd have, I jest, but to me, you'd have to be high to buy it there. You'd have to be. Why else would you do it other than I don't want to say stupid, although it's tempting to. You don't have any experience with the market, right? Because this is stupid and the market punishes stupid. I shouldn't say it that way. This is inexperienced, and inexperienced traders will get absolutely raped there, right? So what do we have? Do you see the M there, right? Well, why does that happen? Because the fish are getting gutted here, right? Right? It's as rudimentary in trading as I can make it. We want to buy low and sell high, right? Not buy high and sell low. Great work, Grant. Really glad to see you back contributing. You do great work. This is such good TA, right? When he's posting, pay attention. All right, so that's Tesla. All right, so really the question for you is how much time, right? How much time are you going to put into this, right? We could be out into, tail end of 24 before that gets there, or it could get there in a month, right? So you got to make that decision about how much time you want. All right, CN Salazar, another one. Can always count on him for good content. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's get all my little doodles off of here. We're good there. Okay, so let me go to CN. Oh, we're looking at SoFi. Well, this ought to be interesting. SoFi, right? Obviously, they're going to be affected by interest rates. So what's SoFi? I think we've looked at this before from CN Salazar. It's hot in here. Let's see if I can. You see, this is the thing about my camera. It's AI, so it follows me around the room. So I have to text my wife to tell her to turn the AC down. Hang on. Okay, got that done. Because otherwise it'll follow me out to the AC. Funny thing about AI, right? AI, right? Everything's AI, right? Okay, right, including my webcam. All right, so here is SoFi. Oh, that looks ugly. Yikes. Well, okay. Let's give it a closer look here. Oh shit. Okay, let's get this out of here. All right, so where are we coming from? I got to back up a little bit. So this is let's get an 8 hour here. Right now, this is probably not surprising, right? You know, we just the most aggressive rate hike in sequence in 40 years. That SoFi would come down. With all of that, it's probably not terribly surprising. Boy, that's ugly. Jesus. Whew. All right, so let's. I think we can come into log here. Just to open that up a little bit. Okay, so CN, what are you thinking here? Well, okay, just based off of what we were just talking about, is he buying low and selling high, right? Is that his goal, right? He's going to buy low and sell high. He's not buying high and being stupid, right? So what's down here? Right? We can look at it. Just say again, can I simplify this? Okay, well, there's the. It looks like that was with the last time we launched, right? When we put that pivot in? December of 22nd. Put in the high February of 23rd, right? So, we got a nice, not quite a golden, right? Look like we went 707, straight line, right? That's just a straight line to the, Jesus, you don't see that very often. On an 8 hour, that is literally, you're taking the freight train right to the median line and it's going through. Okay, so are we done here, right? Look at the volume, right? So now the question would be, okay, well, I'm down here. I'm certainly buying low, right? So I'd be buying on sale. Does it make sense to be a buyer here? Well, just looking at it right here. Now, see, I would look at that and go, well, okay, maybe, but when it's done, I'd want to see some signs of like, okay, can I get a higher low? Something, right? To say, well, okay, all right, maybe I got a little bit of a start because... Okay, it's probably, this is, oh, God damn it, come here. Let's get you hot. All right, so there's your supply, right? We came right up into a supply zone. What do we do? Just back down to the demand. Oh, we could probably fine tune that even more. Let's get a little down here. Oh, shit. Probably use that one. Okay, so we went right to the low of it. All right, let's dig in there a little bit more, right? So the question would be, okay, am I done here? Well, it looks like I'm getting some wick rejection down here. So whatever has happened down here as we come into, is that my last little order? Yeah, that'll work. So I'm coming down into this zone here. Okay, a little bit of wick rejection there, but I got to see more detail than that. Let's go to a 1. Okay, so now we can start to put this together. Got a candidate for I see. All right, 1. That's mighty skinny 2. Oh, let's try 30. Looks like. Jesus, I cannot get this thing hot today. Oh, I know why. It's because I've got young yawns on there. There we go. Okay, right. So 1, 2. All right, it's long enough. So this is a mighty skinny 2, but it would work here for this as a 3, A, B, C into a 4. All right, so there's a little 4. I'm going to take this one off. Let's just clear some of this up. Okay, so we can get a better look at it. Okay, so down here coming for a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, so here's, well, I see. You'd want it to come down here, right? You'd want to get that so I could say, oh, okay, I can see the candidate for the 5. Now, personally, I wouldn't just buy it because we're trying to pick the falling knife, right? I'd want to wait, show me, right? Because this is a brutal downtrend. Show me the higher low. I might consider it there. And I'd want to see this be breaking some of that structure, right? So just something very simple here, right? Show me that. Right now, if I can get this and if I can break that, then I can come down here and perhaps I get a little, do this, get a little demand zone down here. Right, so then what can I do, right? So this is the name of the game, guys, right? That would be the target. Okay, well, I can use that low here because if this breaks, then, okay, we're going down. And then maybe I've got a 4 over here and this was who knows, right? Then you're like, okay, well, it's not done. It's not done. This is how you want to approach it. Okay, show me a little break of swing structure. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe we got to start on it, because what if I'm trying to label that? What am I thinking? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So reasonable target would be the prior pivot up here. Okay, there's your target, because there's going to be money that was committed to drive it down here. Same, just basic swing structure. Okay, we can kind of drag this off to the left. All right, well, that was a little consolidation before we got there. Okay, but like to try and catch the falling knife, I think this would be watch list rather than I'm ready to go right now. Which it seems to be what he's implying, right? Like, oh, okay, heads up, right? Because I don't always, what I ask for from the members is show me something that's on the top of your watch list, right? I never say, give me something that's ready to trade right now. It's like, okay, let's dial in, because I know other members, YouTube subs, right? Everybody's looking for ideas. Where's something that looks good? And if we go through 10 charts here, one of them may click with you and you go, oh shit, that wasn't on my watch list. I'm going to put that on there because I like the way that's setting up. Maybe it's Tesla with Grant F. Maybe it's Grant F just posted. Maybe it's SoFi here because this is probably not one you'd want to be trading before the Fed announces, right? So this would be one to be watching. It's the same kind of thing. If for any reason we get a positive reaction off of the Fed news, don't feel like, oh, fuck, I missed it. I missed the whole bloody thing, right? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You might miss the turn low, but that, if you want to be a purple belt, we don't even let you trade that. We make you wait. We make you wait for it. Why? Because that's your money ball right there, right? Don't try and pick the turn. You're trying to trade the 1. I want you to trade the 3s, right? You'll have better odds, make more money. That's the bigger wave, right? If you're going to use Elliott Wave, first question, if you're going to use it, well, let's use it intelligently. What are the big waves, right? 3s and Cs, which is why we force you to go through that discipline to only trade them 50 times, right? Talk about building a habit. That's what we're doing. That's why we do it. Not to be dicks about it, just because I want you to build that reflexive habit. So you come out here and you go, what am I looking for? I'm looking for 3s and Cs, right? It's like that. Right? It creates a discipline, a structure, a criteria that you're looking for, rather than, oh, well, fuck, I'll try a little of this. Oh, fuck, that didn't work. Let me try that. Oh, I read something over here. I'm trying that. That's what people do. They do it, right? It's natural, right? We all have been through that process. You're looking, what? I need something. Something's got to work for me. Fuck, I missed that last one. Damn, I read about, you get to, you're spinning and it's just a downward spiral. There has to be a mechanical process that you go through here. Say, okay, I see this, I do that. If that happens, then this should follow. And if this doesn't follow, then that should follow. That's the only way you can deal with all of the randomness of this. Otherwise, you're just going to get bent over nonstop, right? It's just going to be relentless ass rape. You've got to have a structure here so that you aren't going, you're like winging it. That's a guaranteed way to lose all of your money, or to have a very, there should be some pleasure in this, right? It shouldn't just be like, oh, fuck, it's only good if I get paid. You have to like the process. And you're not going to like the process unless you develop a sequence that you go through, because then you're constantly, there's anxiety because you're looking, you're searching, you can't figure it out. It's like, fuck. And then what happens is, you go into the after the fact trading. It's like, oh, Jesus, if I had just followed that moving average, right? It would have been so easy. Look at all the money I'd make. Then you're spiraling. Right? The mental side of it is 80-90% of it. Right? The mechanical, right? You hear me say this all the time. This should be the fun part. Oh, can I solve the puzzle? Right? You're either drawn to the puzzle or you're not, right? Because in one way or another, it's a puzzle. Right? You either like that process or you don't, but that's not what matters. This is what matters. Right? You don't have to be right. You just have to be profitable. How can you be right and how can you be wrong so many times and still be profitable? You have to be able to answer that question in your own mind. You have to set it up and go, shit, I could be wrong 7 times. I'm still going to stick with what I'm doing because I know I'm going to get one of these that's going to offset all those other 7, or at least 5 of the 7. Then I'm going to get another one. Right. And then you're on your way. Good one, CN. Thanks for that one. Oh, man. Oh, my, I got some good Oh, my A-listers are posting French toast. All right, so let's see what French toast is up to. Hey, I shouldn't say it that way. My guys just have been around for a long time, so I know that they know what they're doing. Oh, come on. Hello? Leave. Yeah, I want to leave. I rebooted my machine this morning just so I wouldn't have this trouble. Okay, so let's copy. Okay, what do we got here? Neurocrine. It's got to be Neurocrine. Neurocrine. Never heard of. Do I care? I don't care because they all trade the same. Whatever it is, doesn't matter to me. Okay, so I got oh man, we got a lot of history here. French, what are you giving me here? This is, I like it. Oh, I got full history here. I'm going to go to a 3-day here just to get a little more perspective. There we go. Ooh, this is sexy. All right, so are we done here? Okay, so 1, 2, why are you giving me 2 there? Why are you giving me this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's in blue. But you're giving it to me in white as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck, man, I don't know why we're doing that. All right, I'm gonna hide that one. Oh shit, I didn't want to trash it. I want to hide it. Jesus Christ, what am I gonna do? Hide. There we go. Okay, so now let me focus on this on the one in white that we have here. Okay, so this is pretty hard to argue with. Okay, there's a 1, kind of a skinny 2. 1, 2, 3. That's clearly the 4. 1, 2, 3. Look at that pretty finish. Okay, so there's my 3. Right, so you see his Elliott channeling now. This is really good work, right? So there's A. Then I gotta go A, B, C into the B, or it could be an X, right? It looks like he's giving me 2 choices there. Now, what are we doing here? It looks like we got a contender there. So let's get all this out of there. All right, it takes me a minute just to follow along, right? It's always easier when it's your own chart. Okay, so where is that pivoting? That's got to move a little bit down here. So that's a pretty good stretch. So he's got 2 starting here. Okay, so let me go back to the daily, which is what he gave me. Okay, wait for earnings to assess the likelihood. Okay, I see what he's doing. All right. Right, this is a favor, not to me. This is a favor to you guys, right? So, okay, wait for earnings to assess the likelihood of each option, right? So we've got this. If it's going to be a shallow, he's got 1 like a little pop, and then looks like this is going to be a runner if the market responds to earnings well. So option 1, measured move, leading diag. Play in progress. Okay, so why is he thinking that? Because we have overlap here. Well, he's got it marked, but there it is. Right, so 1, 2, 3 overlap. Right, so very, very reasonable thought to think, oh, okay, the 4 is in here via this. Here, I'm going to bring it over here via this. Let's put that in green, just to colors I'm used to. Okay. I suppose could be a W, A, B, C, but it looks more like an A. 1, 2, 3. This looks like a 5, right? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it overlaps, right? So you have to play it as a diag. So I'd get an A, a B, and a C. I'm leaning B here, but that's, I see your problem, right? You don't get a great finish. Looks more like an ABC to finish that. So you're going to have to compromise a little bit here, right? It's just part of Elliott, right? It's not perfect. Don't expect it to be perfect. When you see it perfect, trade it, but it's not always going to be perfect. So, you look here and you go, okay, well, wait a minute. If this was going to be an A, B, I'd be expecting this, right? That's what you'd be looking for, a zigzag, right? A, B, C, or even a flat, right? Because you'd have expanded B here. You'd be expecting it to stay somewhere, you wouldn't be looking for a massive sell-off here. But we don't really get it. You don't really get it. So working backwards is what he's had to do here. So if this is an A, B, oh, fuck. If this is an A, B, oh, Jesus, that is ugly. A, B, C. Oof. I'm going to have to rethink that, actually. What are we doing with that? That's a little ugly, right? So this is just enough that would make me pause here. What is that? That would have me pause, right? So, and he's kind of leading you into that, saying, okay, one of these two is happening here because this, is a little abnormal. That looks like an A. That looks like a good 3, but this is not the finish we want. So candidate here that you might have something wackier here. It looks like you could, I suppose, have a triangle. It looks like you might have something, right? You could be doing this and then you'd go, right? I would imagine French toast, right? He knows his Elliott well, all right? This would be a candidate here that maybe we're just, you might think of it this way and say, okay, see, this is often how you end up with a triangle. You're like, God damn it, what is it? As soon as you're thinking that, right, triangle should pop into your head, right? So it's just happened to me. Okay, it's not quite working. So if it's not quite working, right, my first thought is, oh, fuck, it's a triangle, of course, right? Now, we don't know that because the swing structure here, if we rally, you'd be back to, all right, it's some sort of, fuck, I mean, it almost doesn't matter, right? What can we see with certainty? We're going sideways. Right? That's lack of trend progress. Classic 4. Some sort of wacky combo. It almost doesn't matter, right? Don't get caught up in like, oh, fuck, man, if I can't get the exact little labeling here, I can't take the trade. It's sideways, right? Sometimes you got to respect the bigger pattern. Okay, I can't nail it down. But when I come here, now I'm on a daily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, if that starts to go, this is a trade, right? He's giving you the trade right here. Okay. Oh, Jesus. That is Neurocrine. Well, I guess it's that's his drawing here. I'm going to just check it. Well, there's 2 to pull from, right? So that's the one that. Well, remember if that's the 3 here, and we're playing for a diag, right? The sweet spot for a diag is at 50, right? Golden zone is just fine here, and we can see how that would make sense here. So here's the swing. Here's the retrace. Is it technical, right? You're right. Look where you are, right? Right at a high volume node, right? So size can sneak in there. Do I have a 1? Now let's go to the 2. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's a little oddball. Looks like we go up before we go down, right? So you actually get an impulse there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you actually do get, oh shit, that is ugly. We could probably do it here, right? So we go A, B, C. It looks like it just, well, so part of this, because this is, biosciences, right? So it's some sort of healthcare, right? There's probably a drug that's attached to this. Again, I don't know anything about their business. Oh, that's he's got a little. Let's do that. Let's see what he's got there. Okay, so this is him pulling to the 50. So if we're pulling here, coming down for the 2, if this completes, well, you wouldn't necessarily want that just right there, right? Because you wouldn't. What is that, right? Oh shit! I suppose you could think of it this way. Right, but this is getting a little A, B, C, right? That's getting a little wacky doodle. That one, I'd be waiting for a little bit. So this has got to be earnings related, right? So there we go. That's today, right? So surprise miss, right? So that's why you're getting that. Okay, so now I'm getting what his message is, right? Wait for earnings. So this is interesting, right? It's a really interesting puzzle here as to what he's got here. Wait for earnings, right? To assess the likelihood. Well, there's earnings, right? All you've got is volatility. Wave 2, 5 at the higher degree should play, right? So I'd wait and see how this resolves. Here's the key pivot down here. If that holds, then okay, you're probably okay playing this on the long side. But again, it's what matters here. Let me get this thing in here. What matters here, right? I want to buy low. I want to sell high. I don't want to buy high. Working that joke enough, I guess. All right, so I don't want to buy high, right? I want to buy low. Where's low here? Now, can I get technical, right? Yeah, I can get technical. If anything, right, I want to buy under. Think of it this way, right? If I'm going to buy, at least I want to buy below the 50%, right, in the discount range where it's on sale. So if I want to buy here, you might have to dig a little bit into the earnings just to get some sense of, okay, well, how is it this, right? Is this bullish, bearish? What? Looks like it was a negative surprise. So I'd be kind of holding on this one. I'd keep it on my watch list here. I'd put an alert under that pivot. If it breaks that, I'd probably be rethinking it. Maybe, right? So French toast, maybe that because of that, we end up with the triangle here. A, B, C, D, E. Well, we'll see. All right, it would be bullish if we come out of here. If this is a triangle, this is the E. A, B, C. That's a brutal C. D. I'd be on hold here on this one. It's not enough, right? And I'm sure he did that last night or just before earnings came out. So I would let that get processed a little bit by the market, see how it absorbs it. But the structure is mighty good, right? So you see all the trend line support that he's got teed up in here. Good run, right? It's more the process, right? So he went through the right process here. You've got a negative surprise on earnings. Often that can be absorbed and the market will push higher. But I would just be on hold with that one. I'd keep it on my watch list, but I'd alert under some of these key pivots to see if it holds. And if it starts to go, again, if it starts to go, let's just assume that it starts to go per his discount. Okay, are you sorry that you missed that leg? Well, okay, it's a leg that you're missing, but if we complete the 5 there, what are we anticipating? Right, just the same thing over again. So more conservative approach, right? Let the backwash from or trend develop, right? Is it just noise, sideways fuckery? Is it just a one-day glitch, or we have a trend reversal here off of earnings? I'd wait and see how does the market digest it. Because if it goes up here and finishes that 5, well, then you know that it shrugged it off. You got your 5, you wait for the retrace, and you buy low. Thanks, French. Okay. Oh, this is a new one. Look. Oh, new member. Oh, great. Look for loopholes. All right. Look for loopholes. Let's see what you're thinking. I always like to see new members because I get a feel for where their TA is and if they're applying our stuff and how they're progressing with it. So glad to have you here. Look for loopholes. Well, let's see here. I gotta make a copy of this. My wife got the text because it's starting to cool off in here. All right, RUNE. We saw this recently. Somebody else was excited about this project. I can't remember what it was going on with RUNE or what they're doing or. Where are we here? We're on Binance. So here's I always do this, right? I want my absolute low wicked off here. If that is our absolute low. Okay. Well, I don't think we have to wonder about this, right? That's pretty good looking. Let me get that up there on a 1. Let's brighten that up a little bit. Just colors I'm used to. It's interesting. It looks like you might be good at triangle into that. A, B, C. Oh shit, doesn't matter. A, B, C, X. Okay, so this looks like you're trying to get that up here. Maybe. All right, we're trying to get that. Looks like that's what he's trying to do there. No, pardon me. I see what you're doing. You're trying to put the 4 in here. Okay, I got you. Okay, so that's that's perfect, right? Great example. Okay, so this, right, nice little pennant, kind of a flag, call it what you will, right? So that's a nice setup here. This is good work here. All right, so very nice. All right, so we get a little ABC here. Right, market likes to move in these little corrective patterns like that, right? So it's the kind of thing to look for. Now, you start looking, okay, right, are these moves technical? Right, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? When I say that, what do I mean when I'm saying that? Right? Where's the algo? Where's Waldo? Is he in here? Is he in RUNE? Do we have to wonder? No, I think not. All right. Is there any market where it's not? No, right? So I'm not surprised to find it here. Okay, so I got an A. Well, I got whatever, or some little push down here. And I got a nice little, what do I get to do here? I get to sell high, right? Better to sell high than buy high. I get to sell high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I've got a nice 3. Looks like I got another. Remember, this is, I say, if you're thinking Elliott, right, what you're constantly doing is sometimes an easier way to do it is find the 3s. Okay, where are the little corrections? Out of curiosity, let's see what that looks like. Geez, I'm just struggling to figure out if the algo is in here. I just, for the life of me, can't figure out if it's there, right? There's second target to the tick, right? So, well, there obviously, why? So this is, so how do you absolutely know that it's in here, right? There's no hesitation when you see a series like this, right? Only an algo can do that, right? We are not that. You heard me say this 1,000 times. We human beings, not that precise, right? Only an algo can be that precise. That's to the tick, both second targets to the tick, right? It's not random. There are no random pivots ever in any market at any time. Always a reason for it. Okay, so what do we got here? So something 3, 4 finishes down here, right? Look again, right? So if it helps you, right? So again, I'm just trying to help you here. Look for the little 3s. Look for the little corrections, right? If you train your eye to be constantly, where are the 3s, where are the 3s? Right, here's another little one over here, right? It's just kind of the same little thing. The little shape's a little different here because we get an expanded B here, but you can see them. If you just start to train your eye to look for these, right, it'll help you. Okay, now if I've got my little 3s, okay, now I can start to put some things together. Well, okay, now it gets a little funky here. You get a triangle, but this is just the process of saying, okay, swing, correct, swing, correct, swing, correct, swing. Oh, what? So what do we have here, right? Change of market structure. Where does that come from? Right? What happened right here, right? We're in lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, up, higher high, higher low, right? It's that drop dead simple. And that's as simple as you want to make it, right? That's all the smart money concepts, the market structure, the Sonar Labs indicator that we work with. That's all it's doing. It's just doing it for you. You can do it yourself. Oh, lower low, lower high, lower. Where's that change? Right here, right? So there's your first, whoa. Something changed, right? That sequence changed. So you could say whatever this is now over, right? Heat, oh shit, I don't know if I'd put it that way. Looks like you're pretty good right here. I'm not sure what you're thinking there. Oh, that's okay, little channel pattern, right? Okay, that's over, that's broken. Okay, so what do I get here? Well, I guess you're gonna have to do this as an ABC. So it looks like it's just a bigger, right? The swing structure is a 3. Oh, let's take it up a degree. Okay. ABC into that trend line. Right? That's why you leave trend lines on, because if I get these right on the pivot, right? Yeah, that's just wick, right? So I'm just going, look, okay, as long as I'm not cutting into bodies, good, right? Put them right like that. Oh, look how beautiful that is. I mean, again, the market does this. We're just connecting the dots. You don't have the market draws the trend lines and channels for you, right? Just all you have to do is connect the dots. WXAB. Let's pull some of this out of here. All right, how did we get here? Loopholes. WXABC. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, so you're going to go A. You're going to go from here. So if this is WX, this has to be, let's do it this way. A, no shit, you've got it here. It's just not big enough. Come here. Oh, Jesus, why can't I get this template? Did you draw that? Something off there. I think you drew the letters, or you didn't actually take them from here. Let's try it this way. Come here. A, B. We're looking for a C. Now, can we get that done? Well, you got an extra. You kind of wanted it to be done here. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so let's. So this is the A. So this premise is, well, let's see. Let's make sure we got it right here. Yeah. So just looking at it. So what would your next thought have been like? Well, okay. Well, maybe this is wrong, right? Jesus, come on. Okay. Right. So you might have been thinking, oh, wait a minute. Wait, 1, 2. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Could I have this? Could this be 1, 2, and this is 1, 2, 3? It doesn't quite have the right look to it. So I think he's the complex correction. He's on the right track here. I'm going to take that way down. Okay, so if this is the W, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got to go with A here. This is a good expanded B here. So A, B. Ah, shit. I'm going to relabel this. Let's do it this way. So I'd be thinking A, B, C to get you that B. Let's take that up a degree. Put it in blue. Okay, so this one, I'm going to relabel that. All right, don't listen. You're not necessarily going to live with your first glimpse at it, right? So that might be a better fit there. So do you see what all I've done there is just kind of look at it and say, okay, something completes here. I'm going to go A, B, C into my B. So now, if this is, let's get it all together. That's W, that's X. Times. They're not locked. Why is that not giving me a different degree? Weird. Okay, W, X, A, B. I'm trying to get a C here. I swear, I think you're writing those. Yeah, you are. That's why. Because you're doing it in text. Okay, now that was racking my brain going, why can't I change the degrees? Because you typed them. I got it. Okay, you can do this, right? You can go W, X, Y, X, Z, right? So you don't have to type them. Maybe just you're getting used to trading view. That's what's throwing me. Okay, W, X, A, B. I need a C. Well, WX, you can't get around this as an A. B, that's not a great C. And we don't have another X. We don't have a great looking. It kind of looks a lot like just all of crypto. It's kind of a mess. Okay, so let's consider, what are we trying to do? We're looking for C. Well, okay, I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So now this is going to be the X. This is very similar to Bitcoin. Okay, so what have I got here? If this is W, X, A, B, C, right? One thought is to say, oh, it's going to be another X. That's exactly like Bitcoin. So let's consider this, right? So we went W, X, Y, X, Z. Right. Well, immediately you don't like this. This is exactly like so much of crypto, and we're in log scale, right? So you're like, oh shit, is that my X? Searching for alternatives. Oh, Jesus. I suppose here's the alternative. Okay, so let's relook at what's a tricky one. Okay, so we go. Let's do it this way. A, B, C. So this would be the W. This would be the X. This would be the next A, B, C. That would get it done. Okay, that does it. Okay, so possibly there's another XZ, but we'll push those off as we'll use them if we need it. Okay, so there we go. All right, so we're going to go A, B, C. Just change these. That's what you did. You used the letters. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Okay, so this is let's go up. W, X, A, B, C. God, that does suck, doesn't it? Well, that's what the market's giving us. A, B, C. Okay. I don't love it, right? But it's okay. I got a contender for a pivot here. Let's go in now. Jesus, now that I got it figured out. Okay. Looks like I got a decent one, right? I like the way you're using the channels and the trend lines, right? So you've studied classic TA, right? Which is by no means you're like old school. Like old school is old school for a reason, right? I mean, these things work, right? These patterns repeat over and over again. So I like what you're doing here. Okay, so we'd have to look at this as a leading diag here with a kicker in the fifth because we've got the overlap. So, all right, ABC, ABC. Oh fuck. A, B, C, right? You got to squeeze it in. Oh, I suppose you could do it this way. You might be able to do it this way. Iffy, right? So A, B, C, or W, X, Y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you could do a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 diag to get that done. I don't like that thing connected there. Oh, let's, here we go, yellow. Okay, 1, 2, or, okay, W, X, right? Could be. Now let's live with it. That's not the start you wanted there, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's label it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us an. I can't. Oh, you got these on. Oh shit! Here, come on. Let's go. Wait. Okay, so A. A little skinny down here. So he's got. Oh, that's a nice way to do it. All right, what you're doing. I like how you're doing that. Okay, but having just said that, I gotta pull it off for a little second. Oh man, you're using all of those connectors. It just confuses me. Okay. Okay, 786. Well, it looks more like an A, right? So let's pull that off, right? So it looks like maybe I got a little 5 here, but that's way deeper than I wanted. If I'm holding to the idea that I've got a 2. Now that said, right? Let's think about the theme of I end up with themes. All right, last little demand zone here before we went up. Little inducement here, right? There's the wick pivot, right? So we come down here and tap that. Okay, it almost doesn't matter what happens here. I mean, okay, is that the prettiest setup? No, not really. But I'd much rather him take that trade, assuming he wants to, because the risk reward is so good. Okay, so if I get stopped out, all right, you're not going to, put the kids' tuition money into that trade. Why, right? See, I would like this a whole lot better if I had a nice little 3, right? But I don't really get that. It looks much more like a 5. So it occurs to me that we might not be done there. So we're on a daily. Let's go to 60. Okay, there's the 5, 3, 4. Oof. Well, that would have to be a B. Fuck. That's the list. So you see that the challenges there. Okay, can we turn that into an ABC to make it tradable? Well, that's a lot of sideways fuckery in there. Okay, maybe what do we got below? Anything? We got almost no volume. Okay, so what would you want to see here? So something here would be significant enough to give you like, okay, something has changed here to get, okay, maybe we got, at least I'd have a change of character of lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Now that's this, you see that you're likely here, this is just, right, a liquidity grab here. This is just grabbing a little liquidity before it comes down here. So before you do anything, I'd want to see that break. Now this is just me, right? If I was looking to trade this, you gotta show me some sort of like, okay, we're changing, something's changing here right now. Okay, that was a good start of it, but this is way too negative, right? So it's not the ABC that you'd look for, right, for a decent correction. If anything, it looks, Jesus, that's a little clusterfucky. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Yes, I guess you're gonna have to do it that way. So if we label it 1, 2, 3, 4, you're looking for a 5 down here. You'd have to go A, some sort of wedge 4. This has to be your 4. So I want that. Get it straightened. what's the alternate here, right? After this, so you got a 5, right? It's not the cleanest 5, but it's a 5. I got a 5 here. I'm going to get a 3, and then I'm going to get another 5, right? And now, right, is that going to hold? So you might look like something like that. So you'd get the break of structure here that would have you looking, and then you'd be back here saying, okay, well, is there an order block down here? Yeah, you'd probably use the whole thing. A demand zone down here. Now, I'd do it more like this. Just to be risk averse, right? And because I don't have this is not a great start, right? Now, if this had, again, if we had gone from this low here and we were right in the pocket, like right here, and I had a good ABC, okay, right, I'd take a run at it. But here, it's not good enough, right? So why? So just like you often hear me say, why would you not take that trade? This is why would you take that trade? It's not ripe. It's not ready yet. It's close, right? But you got to get a little more here. Give me some break of structure here, something to suggest, oh, the trend has turned here from this. Remember, right? So at the last second, what am I doing? Okay, I've got a swing. I've got a retracement, right? Are we going to break it? Well, at least if I buy down here, my risk is much smaller, right? Because I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen there. But if we start to go, my risk reward is much more favorable. But this is not a pattern that I look at and go, oh, shit, I got to buy that. That's a pattern I look at and go, oh, that's too bad. You didn't get a better. Think of all the things that he's doing here, where he's just doing traditional TA, right? So because they work, right? So here's a wedge, here's a channel. Okay, what do I have here? Well, I really don't have any geometry that I can work with here. Maybe I get something like this, right? So I've got, okay, you didn't quite get a break of that channel, right? The break of the channel often will imply that there'll be a new test of that extreme. That's what I'd be looking for. Show me the break, right? Keep in mind, you could trade the upper side here too, right? This would be the supply. Here's your demand, right? Now you're stuck. What's really going on here, right? We're stuck in this box. Okay, so now you pull out to a 4-hour. Say, okay, do I like it enough now to take a run at this? Well, the risk reward, very favorable, but the pattern's not quite right. In my view, right? Now, I'm not saying look for loopholes. I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just saying, as I look at it through my lens, I don't see it being ready yet. I like it. I like your thinking. I like your TA. I like the combo of classic TA patterns and geometry. I love that. Mixing in some Elliott, mixing in the measured moves. I love it, right? It all looks really good. Oh, shit. Okay, so I got somebody, Robert R. And he can't take a look at Google. Oh, sure. I got time too. Okay, thanks for that, Robert R. Okay, we get look for loopholes. I like it. It's great. I think that's your first post. Oh, you may have done last time. But one, welcome, right? Love your work. Don't change this. Keep doing what you're doing, right? That's a value add. Keep your eyes on this one. I don't think it's quite right yet. Okay, look for loopholes. All right, so next up I've got George. This is a different George. We have a George on the staff. He's one of our senpeis. What'd you give me here? George. I think George is a new member. Okay, so this is Renault. Okay, so it is it pinned in here? Yeah, at the top of this channel, George, if you watch this, or I'm assuming you do, there's the little sequences, how to give me a chart that I can work with. So I'll have to, I'll have to bring this up. Okay, so, how am I going to do it? Can't do that one. I got to bring up Renault here. That's view only. Give me a second. That's view only. Shit. I don't think I can do it here. These are copies. There we go. Okay, so Renault stock. Renault, it's got to be this one. Right? Looks like it. Yes. All right, let's, I'm going to remove indicators. Okay, is this it? What'd you give me? You gave me shit. Hang on. You gave me a monthly. Oh, no wonder you gave me a monthly. All right, that explains it. Is that right? You gave me a monthly. Yes, you gave me a monthly. Okay, I got you. All right. Do we need to be in log scale? Well, yeah, we do. Okay. All right, Renault. Okay, right off the bat. Okay, so again, just your eye will get to where you can't miss them, right? Well, that actually looks like it looks like you can do it that way. A triangle B, C. A, B, C, D, E. Now let's A. No, we have to do A, B, C, D, E. So that does it, right? So let's get this labeled up here. A, B, C, D, E. It's a little, well, see, no. So why allow for that? Because it's common for an E to overshoot or undershoot, right? So I would let that fly as a B myself. Some purists may not. Does it matter? Fuck, I don't know. Again, it's common for that E, right? So I know I've got some of my level 3, level 2 technicians are probably cringing at the moment, but it almost doesn't matter, right? So we look up here and we go, okay, right? We can see the right supply. You can pull it over. Any question, right? Okay, talk about making the point, right? How high do you have to be to buy that high? Given that. Pretty high. Look what happened, right? So where do you want to buy? Right? I mean, this is like, I don't mean to be insulting, right? But duh. All right. We're not to the tick here, but it looks like we're, well, let's see, on both sides. I'd go for the absolute highest high here. Well, you know, it's not ultra precise in the middle. Let's go to a weekly here. This is interesting, right? Looking from a monthly, right, is a patient trader. Okay, looks like, so this, zoom in there. This looks 4-ish here, so Jesus. I'll lose you guys and bore you to death. Can we make this fly? Yeah, we can. Okay, so let's. Okay, so this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a little shaky, right? We get a little overlap here, but it's not the pivot of the 4, so I would let that slide. Oh, so you're valid here, right? So you've got to, oh, fuck. Again, it doesn't matter. Don't get caught up. It's sideways, right? We're not progressing the trend. Classic 4. Up I go. Okay, A, B, waterfall. Okay. Again, it almost doesn't matter, right? There's my 3. So I got 5 followed by 3, and that's, well, it's not drop dead technical. Doesn't look like it. It's not bad. It's just, we're on a weekly here, right? Where you're so wicky on both sides, but is it hard to spot the trend here? Is this? Not too hard to spot that. Let's see if I can get a 5 in there. Is that 1, 2? I have to check that on a smaller time frame. So, well, either way, right? So I got a 5 followed by a 3. Followed by a 5. It's a little, well, let's get into the daily here. Maybe that looks a little bit better. I've got this nice blue, probably diag. 1, 2, 3. Looks like you might have to do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you're okay on that 5. Let's wick this off here. I'll get there. All right, this is me trying to go fast, right? I'd usually maybe take my time a little bit more, but I don't want to lose you guys to just drop dead boredom. Might have to push this over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I won't bore you all. It's impulsive, right? So it's not corrective, right? So, and we can just look at it and say, okay, well, fuck. I got a 5 followed by a 3. I'd probably dig a little further on that if I weren't doing a live stream, and just to dig a little bit further. Okay, well, what else can I see? Okay, there's a lot of consolidation here, and then we go. So put a shit, almost doesn't matter, right? So you put a 2 in here. Let's put the God on there. The God MA. All right, it's the average of the. All right, it's a nice way. It's like a long-term trend. All right, we're sitting at the 200. We've been up, we're below. You could make a case here that we're in a sideways channel here. We're just range bound. Well, okay. So based on that, what do you want to buy here? Would that be buying high? Yeah, I would. Right, where do you want to buy? You want to buy low. This is, I'm not going to dig on that. All right, we'll 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm tempted to dig into that, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's just look into that, right? Because I could spend an hour on that. All right, so where do we want to be buying? Well, this looks pretty good just based off of the structure. Yeah, you probably got a median line in here you can work with. I got to go here to my defaults, right? So I can see them. Okay, now that doesn't count, right? Because that's after the fact, right? So what we're looking for, get this on there. Okay, 1, let's put a higher degree on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it's a process. It's doing it the same way every time. That's the idea. All right, now I'm going fast, so I don't hold me to that count here, but it's not corrective, right? So 1, 2, I'm looking for 3, right? If this is the 1, that's the 2. I'm coming golden zone, so this is a reasonable target. So what am I thinking here? Well, if this is the 2, if that's the 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Maybe I get there something like that, right? It's bullish. No matter how you slice it, it's bullish, and you'd have a secondary candidate here for the median lines here if right we do this. Now, so you'd be looking here saying, wait a minute, I'm getting too far from the initial, and that can happen, right? Just because the question of what does the angle look like? We don't know what that angle is going to be, right? Because it's a function of time. All right, we're doing the 3 over here and the 5 off here, right? It's a function of time, and then you just take that one off. Or, right, you might do it like this. Say, okay, well, I don't want to lose that original geometry. So I'm going to put my traditional classic, right? When I don't have the 3, all I got is 3 pivots. So I could do it as a channel and say, okay, well, here's and I don't have this yet. But if I were constructing a trade here, you just went through my whole process, right? That's exactly what I would do. Okay, I say, okay, here's where I am, and I'm trying to get out of here. Right, so I had a test. So what do we have? This is a good setup, right? So you've had the break of structure here, right? So this is the break. This is the break, right? We broke the high here. So, well, okay, remember, right? In market structure 101, after break of structure, we're looking for the retrace, right? It's funny how this stuff comes together, right? So this is what people miss, right, when they're trying to figure out market structure, right? And this is, thankfully, they don't know this. I shouldn't say it that way, but right, the reason. So there's the break of structure right here, right? This is a swing high. When we break that, they think, oh, well, it's going to keep going. No, the first thing you think after a break of structure, oh, well, the break of structure leads to the retrace. Now, this could go. But what you're looking for in terms of where's the next trade, it's after the break of structure. It doesn't matter how far it goes. The next trade is the retrace off the break of structure. Because, right, so we know, right? What do we know? We can be systematic about it. Money had to be committed down here to get it to break the structure, right? That's a long push, right? So money's committed here to make that happen. So once that happens, then you know that down here, there's likely to be, right down in this range, there's likely to be unfilled orders. You'd have whoever committed this money here, they're committed to seeing that thing go. So they're going to play defense down here, right? Assuming it's those that can move the market, right? Which is likely what it took to get that to go. So that's what you're looking for. So as far as I'm concerned, this is you're still in the box, right? So you got to wait for the retrace. Well, okay, how convenient that fits in so nicely with Elliott Wave. Oh, isn't that convenient? Well, I got a 5 followed by a 3. I'm looking for a 5 to be followed by a 3. Okay. Is there any questions? Right? I mean, boom. Right? Okay. Do I get a good 3? Nah, shit. You don't know, right? You might get something wacky. You don't know what you're going to get, right? That's what makes it interesting. You never know what you're going to get. But the approach, right? See, that shouldn't rattle you at all. Not knowing what you're going to get here. It's if I get what I'm looking for, I know exactly what to do. If I get something that I'm not looking for, well, then maybe I'm going to pause. But I know what I'm looking for. If I get this, again, why would you not take that? Why would you not take that? I got a 5 followed by 3 followed by 5 followed by 3. I'm technical. I'm right at the support. I'm buying in the discount zone. I've got clear targets. I'd be trading into the 3 of a 3. Why would you not take it? Right? Risk reward would be great. It's only one reason. You got something. You're either out of ammunition or you got something you like better. Simple as that. All right, Renault. Thanks for that one, George. All right, God, now you guys. Young. Okay, I'll circle back to that one. I guess I missed something on Young. Whoa, market just did something. I happen to be spotting that out of the corner of my eye. What? Oh, FET. That's what it is. Okay. Is it that time? Oh, yeah, it's 2 o'clock in New York. Right. All right, so now I'm curious what they did. All right, so markets aren't moving. All right, not to digress into what's happening over there. That would have almost no impact on what's happening on a daily of Renault. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so next I got Fast Lane. You're giving me images. I can't work with these Fast Lane. Shit, what do I do with that? Copy link. Let me try that. I love your work here, but I can't work. Well, shit, maybe it doesn't need anything. He knows what he's doing. I think he forgot. Right, for Fastlane, when you come back and look at this, look at in this channel on the pinned messages that gives you the sequence of how to give me a chart. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nice work. 4, right? What is it? Oh, fuck, triangle. 3, 4. What is it? Sideways, right? Does it matter? Right? We're going sideways. You don't have to label it. 5. Okay, A, B. All right, so here's where he goes. Okay, well, I don't know, right? Because it's not done. So is it A, B, C, W? Could be. Is it A, B, C into a B for a flat? That would be, the idea in a flat is that we're not going dramatically into the C. Now, does it happen? Yeah, of course it happens. But, for a flat, you're not looking for depth in the C. You're looking for more balance. So you gave me 2 of them. I'd be more inclined to be thinking the WX, A, B, C. Oh, Jesus, what is this? What is FET? Shit, I can't even remember. Hang on a second. What is FET? I want to say FET Inc. Where are they? Federation of Environmental Technology. Is that right? FET? That doesn't sound right. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? All we care about is, okay, is there a trade setting up here? FET, I don't know. Let's see. We gave me another one. Let's see what this is. All right. FET, I don't know what you are there. I didn't forget you, Robert. I'm going to look at Google in a second. Okay, so he's filling in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B. So what are you giving me, though? What are you giving me here? Must be you're giving me curious if you see anything new with current price action from last week. This is on render token. Okay, so we because we're on Qcoin, I think he's filled it in here. So this would be the pivot. Well, here's at least you're buying in the discount here. This is a nice buy on the 50 here. Up, you're not quite to target. No, I don't see. This is a tough start. Is it 1 2 1 2? That's a shit. I wish I could get in there. That's the daily. Well, if this is something you're in here in render, right, you know, if you're hitting the resistance, right, I'd be waiting for the pullback here. I mean, you got it here, so now I'd look at the range from this low to this high, and then try and get in the discount of that, looking for that trend to continue. I'd feel better if I had that chart up. This is swing golden zone here. So this is well, he's hitting the 65 here. Retrace. Yeah. Well, you would certainly, that would be, so you got to, it looks like 1 2 3 4. There could be another kick there, but certainly you don't want to buy it right there. And then this other one you gave me, the same idea, right? So you're going to have, shit, I can't draw on these. You're going to have some fair value gaps and some structure down here. You likely have an order block down here. So I'd let this thing come down a little further, right? The channeling is very good here, somewhere into this zone here where you've got your 618. Looks like a good play. Swing, that's wicks only. So A, B, C into the B is right at the golden zone. Here's your target. 1 2 3 4 5. Maybe you're going to get second target. That's what he's got here. So this down here, and you'd likely, there's a shit, I can't draw there, but shit, I can't even do anything there. So, but you see right along here, there's likely a little demand zone right there. Structure here, if it's going to go deeper. So this is in play. One for the watch list, doesn't look like it's ready. This one, so you're just kind of the same thing, right? You're hitting that technical pivot, so there's nothing to really do there, and let that thing come down and see what kind of shape you get. It almost looks like you could go 1 2 3 4, and then there'd be another 5 there, but you got to wait for that to retrace. It's tricky. Sorry, Fast Line. If I could work with those, I'd probably do more. Sunil 07, and then we'll get over to Google. Actually, you probably wanted Google before the Fed announced, I'd imagine. Okay, so what do we got here? AMD. Okay, this is some nice work again. Sunil, look if you see this, Sunil, look at in the pinned tweets here for how to give me a chart that I can work with, because once I have an image, I can't do anything with it. But I can just track your work here. 5 followed by 3. That's looks like you might have an error here. It looks like, and I don't have the chart here, that are we in log scale? No, we're not in log scale. So it looks like you got a mistake here. In that, 3 would be your shortest. It would appear, right, that's shortest. So let me bring that up here. It's an AMD 1 hour. Here, I'll do it. Here, yeah, we'll do it here. Okay, give me a second. AMD. Let's do a 1 hour. All right, so everybody's reacting to the Fed. Oh, is this what you? Okay, how do I get from what you gave me here? Okay, so there's the Fed reaction. We get an initial balance out of there. All right, bear with me, guys. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, so this looks like the set here. So I can see the section you would just labeled, right? So you had it this way. Okay, so let's just so get this cleared up, right? So there's certain rules in Elliott, right, that you have to stick with. Okay, and there's certain rules that you can be fuzzy on. There's certain ones, you're not supposed to be fuzzy on rules, but there's some where just the market requires it. But one that in Elliott, there's a few that you can't break. And one is 2 can never go below the start of 1, right? That's 1 that's unbreakable, right? Now, don't confuse that with a B that can go, right? You can have an expanded B, cannot have an expanded 2. The other one, now 4 can get a little dicey, right? If there's a little overlap, right? So there's a little bit of a cushion on that, but one that can never break, right? Because it'll fuck you up, right? You'll end up with having mislabeled. You can never compromise on this, on 3 being the shortest. Right? Doesn't have to be the longest, it just can never be the shortest. Right? So you can have a leading diag or a diag or an ending diag where 3 is not the longest, maybe 1 is longest or 5th is longest, but 3 can never be shortest. Right? And which is what you would have here. So you've got it's annoying, right? Sometimes like, oh fuck, man, it blows my count. Well, yeah, welcome to solving the puzzle, right? That's the reality, right? So it's not always going to give you what you're looking for. It's pretty deep for a 2. So if we're just out of the gate, okay, 1, 2, 3, right, would be my first thought. Okay, 4, 5. Okay, so, and the reason I'm doing that is because, okay, well, again, we can always, it's always a good idea to start with what's common. So, and I did not know this, right? But this is just a good example, right, in real time. What's the highest probability location for a third, right, between the 1618 and the 175? So when I threw the 3 up there, it was just eyeballing that going, oh, okay, well, did I know it was going to be right in the pocket? No, but okay, well, then it's got to be a question of, wait a minute, how am I getting there in a 5, right? Do I have a 5? Sure doesn't look like it, right? So now you got to rethink and say, wait a minute, that's not a 5. So what do you do, right? Do you go, oh, I can't trade this? Is there a solution to that is the next question, right? Well, how can I solve the puzzle here? I've got a perfect textbook, like can't make the shit up. I got a perfect 3, right? I probably got some really good looking geometry here as well, right? So I've got, remember with Elliott, you always start with the 1, 2, and then once you get the 3, right, and then you do it this way. Right now, is that the 4? I'd be looking for the 4 down here, right? Because for this to play, right now, we don't know, but this is where this can lead you. We don't know this in the market. Remember, market is under no requirement to do anything ever. It can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, right? But we are just trying to identify patterns that we can recognize. So 1, 2, A, B, C, right? So I can't wed. Well, yeah, you're better not to, right? So I was looking at this going, God, do we want to go 3, 4? I'd be really watching for that overlap there, right? Because if I can get that, well, then I have a pretty good idea of what I've got here. Let me redo that. If I do it this way, that's what I want. Okay, so look at that framing. Again, I can't make this shit up, right? I didn't plan ahead. So this structure here. What I want is to buy it right here, 1 tick underneath that, because then I can look at this and say, oh, I know what I got. I know I've got a leading diag. I've got a diag, right? We don't know if it's leading or not. No, I don't think you can do it. I was just looking at this going, maybe you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think you do it, right? I think this is all just an ABC. And the structure is so good. Okay, so let's see if we can finish it. Right? Oh, God damn it. Right, so that's kind of a pain in the ass, right? So the most perfect location for a 4 in a diag is to ping the 50. Well, it's pinging the 50 right in line with the geometry, but we don't have the 1 overlap. Well, one thought is to say, no, fuck it. I like it, right? The geometry is good. The retrace is good. I'm going to take the trade, right? Recognizing that, oh, okay, that could come a little bit lower. Do I have a completed correction here? It doesn't really look like it. Oh, I've got some other shit on there that might be confusing you guys. So we'll circle back to that. Okay, so 1, 2. Looks like you might have it. I feel like I need to hurry up here. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. God damn it. That looks like it could be done. But see, I don't think you can do this. This is tempting to do because that looks so good. I don't think you can get this to fly. I don't think I can do that. Even though, God, everything is there except for the impulse, right? I can't make that fly. And so you might say to yourself, well, fuck it, who cares? Well, I've been doing this long enough to know that if you just blow off a rule like that, it'll bite you in the ass. So I don't do it. I would buy it one tick under that pivot right there. But right there, as good as that is, I can't get that to fly. Right? So I can't trade it with confidence. So I look at it this way and I go, if I take that trade and it's a winner, well, that's almost worse. Because then you're going, oh, wait a minute. That didn't follow pattern recognition rule requirements here and it was a winner. So what does that mean? That means the next time that I see that, I may just take it, right? And then sooner or later, I'm going to get really bent over on that. So I'd rather wait and say, okay, this is my methodology, right? So as a result of that, I'm not going to take that trade, even though it looks so incredibly good right there, unless I get that one overlap, because I can't fit that. I can't make this work. I can't get an impulse in here. I'm on a 60. I can't get that to fly. I can only get a 3 in there, and I don't overlap this one. So I'm a little cock-blocked here. Now, that's not what we're talking about here, from 81 to 78. It's tempting, right? I wouldn't, because see, if it does this, come here, right? If it does, and then we roll over here, and then we go right to a golden zone here, and then it flies. Well, one choice is, okay, well, I'm going to have to take that drawdown, right? Do I want to do that? Do I want to take that drawdown? Do I want to tie up money here? What if it's just completely ass backwards, right? And something like, fuck, China invades Taiwan, or who knows, right? So all of a sudden that happens. This just ends up being an ABC, and then this thing unloads. You see, it's more. I'm always thinking more. What's it going to do to me mentally if I break a rule here and I go against something that I know I should not do, right? Based on anything other than the number of times that I've tried to do it before, right? So you go, fuck it, let's take it, right? It's easy. It's easy to do it. Let's see what happens, right? It's easy. That's an unprofessional way to approach the market, right? Then you're just winging it. Fuck, at a 50, why not? That's much more damaging to me to break my rules than to just take. Fuck, I actually don't care, right? It's more important to me that I don't take the trade. See, if you follow my thinking here, it's more important to me that I don't take that trade than I do take it. I don't care if it's a winner, really, right? It's more important to me that I follow my trading plan, right? And if I don't see it, and that if I'm going to apply Elliott Wave here and I can't get this thing to fly, then I wait. Here's what I'm risking, right? So let's say it takes off. Oh shit, right? Is it going to go in a straight line? It could, right? It could, right? They're big rips, right? But what's more likely, there's going to be a retrace, and then I'm going to look at this and go, well, fuck. Okay, all right, okay. Well, I'll trade the 3. Right, I'll trade the 3 of the 5, right? Rather than break my rules here. Maybe I got to come back here and dig through this. I'm down to a 1 minute to get it to fly, but maybe there's something there that I just haven't dug through enough. But as it sits right now, for me to take that, I would be angry with myself, right? And then I'm taking all the joy of years of developing a methodology, and I'm just throwing it out the window. Fuck it, I like it. Let's take it. Right now, you're back to I'll try anything. Careful of that. All right. Okay. How am I doing on time? I got 10 minutes. Okay. So I got Robert R., who's nice enough to, looks like he tipped me $15. Thanks for that. We used to do that. I don't even know if that's set up anymore, but I like the thought, whether I get it or not. Doesn't matter to me. Okay. So let's look at Google. I'm going to guess you wanted this before the FET. All right. So did you want, let's go to the daily. Start there. Probably set that up again as soon as I can figure out how to do it. And it's like, God, I have enough trouble just getting the live stream to work. So people can make requests. I'm happy to do that. All right, what are we doing, Google? Oh, there's the COVID low. All right, so let's mark that off. Well, what would be the first thing you'd do, right? The first thing you'd do, right? Pull that off, that low. I don't have enough history here. Okay. Significant pivot, right? So this whole range here is significant. God, what do we got here? Well, this looks a little skinny, but I suppose you're kind of stuck with it. All right, something completes up there. Oh, I don't know that we need to put the whole thing together, right? So here's a dominant pivot to a swing high. All right, let's get into that coming down. Try and keep it pretty straightforward. Well, excuse me. That looks like a B, right? So, and unless we're trying to do this, which I don't like as much, A, B, C, I don't like that as much. Right? It would be away from the channel. So this has to be a WX or an AB. That could be A, B, A, B, C. Oh shit, I don't know that it matters. Let's work it. What's the simplest thing we can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, that's the simple one. That's the one that we might come back. Maybe it's WX, right? But right now, I don't think that matters. Right, here's the. Clearly, we know where the resistance is. 151. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, are we technical? How are we looking here? This is 1. This is 2. Right? Jesus, can't make this shit up. Where's the high probability zone for a 3? Right? Between the 1618 and 175. Right? Retrace on the 4. 2 through the 3. Right to a 50. Right? A little chop zone, a little chop monster, but no shit that does not happen randomly. Right? We do not overlap. All right, so I start to feel good about, okay, looks like I've got a good 5 coming down here. Now let's change the color. White. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what can we see? What can we say with certainty? Right, we've got multiple breaks of structure. Right, so we're this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. All of a sudden, right, something's changed here. Right now, I got higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right, simple. Right, it's that's not brain surgery, right? That okay, right? Go lower low, lower high, lower low. Oh, a 7-year-old can follow that. Okay, so what do we got here? All right, okay, let's see. All right, maybe I do something like this. I don't know, right? So sometimes it's a little bit of like, okay, what's there? What fits? What? Okay, I got 5 down. What am I looking for? Excuse me, I'm looking for a 3, but where am I looking for that 3? Right? In the same way that I was looking for the 3rd here at the 1618, 175 window, I'm looking for the 3 coming back the other direction, because the implication here is that I've had a complete something massive completed, and something that corrects it is underway. Now, so you might say, well, how do you know that you're not done here, right? So, I mean, again, this is someone who was new to Elliott Wave, or even this approach. Swing low, swing high. How do you know you're done here? Or how do you know you're not done here? Well, number one, does anybody know? No. Exactly 0 people know. Nobody knows. So can we make a guesstimate here? Can we make an educated guess? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? You're assuming that you see something that gives you an edge. That's all it is, right? But you don't know. So it's a bet, an educated guess. Call it what you will, but where I'm looking for this to retrace is, okay, well, where are the high probability zones for a B? Right, somewhere up in this range here. So does this look like I'm on my way to a B? Well, it sure looks like I've got my A in. A, B, C, maybe? Let's go minuet. Oh shit, come here. Why am I cause this one? What are we doing here? It sure doesn't look impulsive. I mean, diag-ish, maybe. All right, let's go to a 4 hour here. Well, so far, about all I can do is say that looks like a 5, that looks like a 3, that looks like a 5. But I'm not done. So what's the alternate? And could it be that? I'm going to go up here for a C this way. One thing I can say with certainty, it's not impulsive. At least out here at this degree, I'm looking at a 4 hour. It's not impulsive. I didn't see. Now, if you had gotten this, oh shit, 3, 4, whoa, now you're completely lost. Like, wait a minute. Now you'd be rethinking that 5, saying, do I have this ass backwards? Right now, there's no reason to do that. So the assumption you're making here is, here's a 5, here's a 5. So unless I started here and I was impulsive, 1, 2, 3. I mean, all you're looking at here is thinking, oh, correction. It's corrective. But then you go, well, wait a minute, this is Google. Shit, do I want to be shorting Google? Well, you had to be thinking the same thing right here or right here. Shit, do I want to be shorting Google? Really? Do I want to be shorting Google at 142 when it goes to 83? Do I want to be shorting it? Well, at least if you were shorting it here, you're working off of a lower high and then a break of structure here, which gave you a lower low, right? So now you're in sync with the trend. Well, right now, my trend is going up. I got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So you're a little bit, okay, what am I doing with that? So now we come back to pattern recognition. Okay, if this is a 3, okay, it could be a W. That's not a great looking X, but it could be, I suppose. You probably get a 3 in there, A, B, C. This fucks you a little bit, right? Still possibly you could end up with some sort of wacky diag, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It could, right? So how can we make that? How can we qualify that? All right, let's look at it. All right, so I'm just going to go through all the stuff here. Okay, so that could be, it's long enough to be a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, where can I disqualify that thought, right? If we roll over, if we don't go longer, right? So let's label it. If it's a diag, right? I've got the requirements here. 3 is longer than 1. If it's a leading diag, right? It's deep for the 4. If I'm going to go up here, then what am I thinking here? If this is going to play as a 5, then I'm thinking that I've got an A wave going in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got to be, this next leg has to be longer. Okay, does that make sense? Are we doing a 5? It looks like we're doing a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, right? So right, which is a legit pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit, actually, I'll do it here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm looking for an impulse here. 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 is the leading diag, right? But it has to be, this swing has to be long. It looks like it's on its way. Yeah. Okay, shit, it could be done here. You could be done here, and then or so this. If we start to roll over here, if we did, well, then you'd abandon, right? So there's a little bit of a if this then that. If we start to roll over here, you'd abandon the thought on the diag, and you'd be thinking back to an ABC. If we keep going here, you'd keep this alive as a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. It's not great, but I can kind of isolate this as candidate for a 4 because we're just going sideways. There's no trend progression, right? So they're a good candidate for the 4. So I got to come out of here with a 5, right? I'm still looking for one more down, right? The thought is not that the correction's over. That would not be the thought based on the pattern recognition here. The thought would be 5 followed by some sort of a 3. Now, so if you prefer, like, oh shit, I don't like to short, it would be like, like you'll often hear me say, I don't like to short Bitcoin. I don't like to short it. 1, because I have a shitload of it, but 2, it's additionally, I just don't like to be rooting for it to go down. So if I'm looking at this thinking, okay, A, B, if I'm going to put together a trade here, right, there's 4 to 1. 5 to 1. Now, I don't have this. I don't know where I'm going. I could get it up here, right? So if this is going to go A, let's put you in a different color. Take you up a degree. If this is going to go A, all right, this, let's say, completes the diag, B, C. Right? Then I'm looking up here. Then I'm looking for this. Then I'm looking for this. I'd be looking for something down here. Okay, so if you're thinking, oh, okay, well then I would, so here's what I would do. I would wait. Do I get a fifth here? Do I get this last kick to suggest that I've got a leading diag here? 1, 2, 3, 4, got to be longer. I could have a leading diag into an A. I'll wait for the 3. So you'd be waiting for the 3 to correct if you don't want to be short. Wait for that and then trade the C. It'd be down here. Same process, right? Maybe catch it on the golden zone. Like that, and then what's the last piece? Whenever you have a golden zone, right, there's your target right there. So that's how I see it, my friend. This needs to come. You don't know enough yet. You got to see, because it's too easy for that. Right? It looks like the Fed is market likes it, right? So it looks like you got a good shot here, right? Have they had earnings yet? Yeah. Yes. All right. So good here, right? So it looks like that wants to go. The market likes what the Fed is telling them. So it's probably no surprises, right? So of course the market's going to rally. Okay. So this was a candidate for an A. I'd wait for that 3. I don't know if I lost you along the way or not, but you're basically working off the premise of that I've got a 5 here, right? And I'm likely not done here. So into the A, the B, the C, set up the C, going down forward. Right, so if all the talking heads in the financial community that want to tell us recession is coming, ABC, into a technical level, into, right, again, I don't have this, right? I'm just mapping, right, into the structure. What would all of this be? A, B, C. It's a big sideways range, right? But that's where you'd expect it to hold, right? If it's coming down here, right? We're going into a recession. I don't know. A lot of people seem to think so. The more people think so, the less likely I think it is. It's the nature of the way crowd dynamics work. All right. Hopefully that helped you, George. Hope that helped. Okay. I think we got it. Everybody good? We gotta go see what the market do. What do we do here? The S&P didn't fly. NASDAQ, I've got SPX is up 11, right? So I guess no surprise means the market's going to digest. Okay, guys, I think we got everything. Thanks for that, George. I hope that helped you a little bit. Oh, I got PKs on here. He's probably correcting half my work in here. I get which I asked them to do, right? So if I make a mistake, I always ask them to do it. I promise you, I'm the weakest Elliottian on my team. I've just been doing this for a long time. But boy, if you want to learn from the best guys, right, I've got them. Okay, guys, with that, I wish you guys a good afternoon. We'll see how the market's going to digest this news. Thanks to all that hung out. I really appreciate it. I hope you get something out of these, right? That's the idea. Then if nothing else, maybe you pick up just a little bit of our methodology. Of course, you can always join us for free and get into the white belt. We have the belts now. It's just easier to participate with us, or you can just come into the Discord and kind of get your feel for, do I like this place, right? Discords are funny. The one thing I've learned about Discords is you don't get any value unless you participate, right? I'm probably in 15 Discords, right? I go into maybe 2. And I find that that's really consistent. Unless you participate and you get active and you interact with people, it's just another fucking place on your Discord channel to go. But you got to participate. So I'm always glad when I see the same people posting and participating, because I know they're digging into the content and they're working on it and they're interacting with other members, and that's kind of the key. So if you're going to come into any Discord, come in with the intention to participate. You'll get much more out of it. Okay, guys, I'll end it there. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll see what the market's going to do the rest of this week. I'm back on Friday, and you guys have a good one.